king cheetah. Notice anything out of the ordinary about this cheetah? Take a closer look at that magnificent coat when compared with its run-of-the-mill counterpart, and you'll see what makes the so-called king cheetah so well sought after. This stunning big cat is a variety of the regular cheetah with a rare mutation that produces cream-colored fur with large, blotchy spots and 3 distinctive, dark, wide stripes extending from the neck down to the tail. At first, it was thought to be a different species altogether, before it was discovered that the fur pattern was actually caused by a recessive gene that promotes the overproduction of melanin in the skin. Back in 1926, Major A. Cooper shot a king cheetah and noticed how the fur was thicker and darker than normal, so he named it after himself. Imagine, you kill an animal and then you name it after yourself. That's some nerve. Thankfully, an English zoologist wasn't impressed and renamed the animal Acinonyx rex. Rex translates as king in Latin, and the king cheetah was born. This elusive big cat is actually one of the rarest animals in the world. There are only about 30 or 50 in the entire world. As few as 10 of those are thought to exist in the wild, while the others are in protected parks and wildlife reservations. You know, when the king cheetahs heard how rare they were, they started to get depressed. Now they can be found moping around rather than standing proud and regal. But you can help them get their mojo back for the albino snake. Albinism, a condition where melanin pigment, which controls skin, hair, and eye color, is not produced, doesn't just affect us humans. Whether you're afraid of snakes or not, there's no denying that these albino serpents are seriously captivating. But you're unlikely to ever see one for yourself, because they're some of the rarest creatures in the world. The reason why they're so few and far between is actually pretty sad. In the wild, most snakes rely on camouflage, so they don't become another animal's dinner. But an albino snake, with its pearly white skin, will stand out in its native habitat and will likely not last long enough to reproduce. What's more, albinism often results in poor eyesight, which puts them at a disadvantage when hunting for food or avoiding danger. Albino animals are also more vulnerable to poachers looking to capitalize on the booming demand for exotic pets derived from rare creatures. Basically, it's a hard life being this pretty. Pink katydid. This pretty pink insect is a katydid, which are related to grasshoppers and crickets and mostly found in the tropics like the Amazon rainforest. Usually, katydids are green, but these awesome pink variants were first described back in 1874. Since then, there has been an intense discussion over the origins of their dazzling hue. At the turn of the 20th century, Harvard entomologist Hubbard Scudder suggested that the pink coloring could be seasonal, meaning the normally green insect would change colors with the autumn leaves as the temperature drops. But this theory was debunked when myrmecologist William Morton Wheeler found bright pink katydid nymphs in the prairies of Wisconsin and Illinois during the summer season of July 1907. Finally, the truth was revealed. These pimped-out bugs suffer from a genetic mutation controlled by recessive genes, which is known as erythrism. This causes an absence of normal green pigment and/or excessive production of a red or pink pigment in the skin. Pink katydids are pretty hard to come by in the wild, which can partly be explained by the fact that hot pink is probably not the best camouflage. Blue lobster. Lobsters caught off the Atlantic coast of North America aren't usually very colorful. Instead, they tend to be a murky, greenish-brown. But in 2016, 2 fishermen off the coast of Nova Scotia made the news when they caught not 1, but 2 vivid blue lobsters in quick succession, just 150 kilometers apart. Netting a blue lobster is usually considered a sign of good fortune among the regions of fishermen, so it seems like these guys got double lucky. In fact, the probability of the creatures having this coloring is widely touted as being 1 in 2 million. Considering around 200 million lobsters are caught in the North Atlantic every year, this equates to about 100 blue ones turning up annually. Blue lobsters get their dazzling cobalt hue thanks to a genetic abnormality that causes them to produce more of a certain protein than regular lobsters. But it turns out blue isn't even the rarest colored crustacean you can hope to catch. Back in 2011, two Dorset fishermen hit the ultimate jackpot when they netted this albino or crystal lobster near Portland Bill in Weymouth. These ghostly lobsters are caused by a genetic condition called leucism, which leaves them with no pigment in their shells. Without any camouflage, it's incredible that this stunning crustacean hadn't already been eaten by a predator like a shark. In fact, odds of finding this bad boy are estimated to be 1 in 100 million. I hope the fisherman bought a lottery ticket after this. How lucky would you feel after netting one of these cool crustaceans? Have any of you guys ever seen an animal this rare in the flesh? Pied peacocks. Peacocks are some of the most aesthetically pleasing birds to look at, and male peacocks actually rely on their brightly colored plumage to attract a mate. But not all peacocks are colorful. Just take a look at this unconventional show-off. This lesser-known variation is known as the silver-pied peafowl, which originated in the US in 1992, when it was discovered by 3 different breeders around the same time. As you can see, the male silver-pied peacock is primarily snow white, with about 20% of its body possessing some color, mostly around the neck. Although albino peafowl may exist, almost all white peafowl suffer from a rare genetic condition called leucism. Leucidic peafowl can produce pigment but cannot deposit the pigment to their feathers, resulting in a blue-gray eye color and a complete lack of colorization in their plumage. In some cases, peafowl can be affected by partial leucism, which results in birds that are half-colored and half-white. These super rare birds are known as pied peacocks. Talk about the best of both worlds. This condition doesn't just affect peacocks either. Check out these incredibly rare piebald pythons that looks like they have little jack-o'-lanterns all over their pearly white bodies. Golden tiger. Have you ever heard of anything more regal than a golden tiger? Rather than being a separate subspecies, this glorious big cat, sometimes called a golden tabby tiger or strawberry tiger, is a color variation caused by a recessive gene known as a wide band gene. These fabulous felines have gold-colored fur, which is thicker and softer than a regular tiger's, with pale orange stripes. Although it's a different version of the Bengal tiger species, golden tigers tend to be considerably larger and can weigh between 240 to 500 pounds. The first ever golden tiger born in captivity came from 2 Bengal tigers at the Adriatic Animal Attractions in Florida in 1983. When 2 of these tigers are mated with one another, there's a chance that the offspring will be white, because this variety also carries the recessive gene that is responsible for the slightly less rare white tiger. The golden tiger is so rare that, to the best of modern knowledge, it only exists in captivity today. Even in this protected environment, there are only 30 or fewer golden tigers in the world. Golden macaw. Parrots are already some of the most colorful creatures in the world, but this golden macaw really takes the cake. These seemingly solid gold birds are incredibly rare and get their dazzling color from the excessive production of a yellow pigmentation known as xanthochromosm. The mutation is also related to the lack of the production of the color red, which is instead replaced with yellow. Xanthochromatic birds are known as lutinos and are incredibly sought after among avian enthusiasts. Lutino golden macaws are a variant of the blue and gold macaw species. But instead of having a black beak, claw, and facial features, as well as the usual vibrant blue hue and gold feathers of a standard macaw, the lutino has golden feathers and white features. Its eyes are a pinkish gray instead of black, and even its tongue is white. Because of their color and rarity, the pale birds are worth a significant sum of money, and xanthochromatic birds are deliberately bred to maintain the lutino strain.